The Legend of the Wooden Clogs. Created by H.C.H. In the quiet village of Klompbergen, nestled between windmills and tulip fields, life moved slowly. The villagers had one thing in common: their wooden clogs, or Klompbergen. Each pair was handcrafted by Willem, the village clog maker. His workshop smelled of freshly carved wood, and every pair of clogs had intricate designs of stars, windmills, and flowers. Legend swirled in Klompbergen that Willem's clogs weren't ordinary. They were said to carry the wearer's wishes straight to the stars. But Willem, a kind and humble man, never spoke of magic, only smiling whenever someone mentioned it. On a frosty morning, Pieter, a 10-year-old boy with curly hair and a big heart, entered Willem's workshop. "Meneer Willem," he said hesitantly, "my family is struggling. Our cow wandered off last week, and without her, we can't make enough milk to sell at the market." Willem knelt to look Pieter in the eyes. "I see your heart is full of kindness," he said. "Here, try these." He handed Pieter a pair of clogs carved with tiny stars and swirling clouds. "Follow where they lead, and perhaps you'll find what you seek." Pieter clutched the clogs, unsure what Willem meant, but nodded gratefully. That evening, Pieter wore the clogs and stepped outside. As his feet touched the frosted ground, the clogs began to glow faintly. A soft wind swirled around him, and he felt a pull guiding him toward the woods. Above him, the stars seemed to sparkle brighter, forming a path in the sky. "Trust the clogs," he whispered to himself, and followed the light into the forest. The journey was long and cold, but Pieter's steps were steady, and the glowing clogs warmed his feet. After hours of walking, Pieter reached a hidden meadow. It shimmered with moonlight, and a silvery mist danced around the grass. From the mist emerged a tall figure, a woman dressed in a gown made of blooming flowers. "Who comes to my meadow?" she asked in a voice as soft as the wind. "I am Pieter," he replied, bowing slightly. "My family is in need, and I followed the stars here." The spirit of the meadow smiled. "Your heart is pure, Pieter. For your kindness and courage, I grant your wish." She waved her hand, and beside Pieter appeared a cow with a coat white as snow, its eyes gentle and knowing. "This cow will bless your family," she said, "but remember, kindness is the greatest magic of all." Pieter led the cow home as the first rays of dawn lit the sky. His family was overjoyed, their spirits lifting instantly. The cow gave milk so rich and plentiful that they shared it with the entire village. When villagers heard Pieter's story, they flocked to Willem's workshop, eager for magical clogs. But Willem shook his head. "Magic comes from within," he said. "These clogs work only for those whose hearts are kind and whose wishes are selfless." From then on, Klompbergen thrived, not just from Pieter's cow, but from the kindness and generosity that grew in the villagers' hearts.